Sunaina, do we want to begin?
Yes, ma'am, we are live.
We are live?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, great. Priyanka, Komal? Yeah. Yeah, great. Hi. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, please, girls. You can please start. Yeah.
Yes. Good evening, everyone who has joined us. We have Mr. Hirani sir with us today as the speaker for the current talk titled Stories in Cinema Influencing Minds in Society. But before we begin the current talk, I would like to convey a few things with you. KARM is a transformative institution empowering young Indian women through skill development, confidence building, and mentoring. It enables them to achieve professional goals, financial independence, and equitable growth. Karnavaz is also an initiative connected with KARM. It is a movement which began through KARM Fellows, dedicated to empowering young women, Karisakhis, to find their voice and move confidently toward financial independence. Before Mr. Hirani sir graces us with his ideas and thoughts, there are a few guidelines to keep in mind. Firstly, participants are requested to engage through the live chat only. If you have any questions, please post them in the live chat. In case the YouTube live session faces any technical issues, a Zoom link will be shared with Karm and Karmavas community. It will be open on a first come, first served basis, limited to only 100 participants. The recording and relevant session materials will be later uploaded on the linking channel for wider access. All the questions shared in the live chat will be compiled and addressed by the facilitator at the end of the session.
Namaste, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to welcome a storyteller who has not only entertained millions but also has shaped the way we think, we question, and we reflect on the world around us. We are joined today by one and only Rajkumar Hirani, one of India's cinema's most influential filmmakers, known for seamlessly blending humor, emotion, and powerful social commentary. From the thought provoking journey of Three Idiots to the bold and unconventional narrative of PK, his films have consistently sparked conversations that go far beyond the screen. What sets his work apart is not just its commercial success, but its ability to challenge norms, question systems, and connect deeply with the audience across generations. His storytelling reminds us that cinema can be both entertaining and meaningful, and it can make us laugh but also urge us to think. Today, as we explore the theme of stories in cinema influencing minds and society, we are excited to dive into your creative journey, sir. Please join in welcoming Mr. Rajkumar Hirani. It's all yours, sir. I just wanted to let you know that we have some set of questions accumulated, and we're gonna ask you that questions. And in between, we could have certain questions that are accumulated from the live chat as well that audience have for you. Are we like ready to begin with the very first question of the day?
Thank you, Komal. Uh, Thank you, Priyanka, and thanks, Vinita. I'm happy to be here. I keep hearing things about Karm from Vinita. She's the one who's pulled me out here, and I just keep hearing amazing stories of all the people on this, all the girls on there, and she keeps saying they are the most intelligent girls in the world. So, so I'm out here, and let's go. You can start shooting our questions, whatever. Let's have a great chat.
Sure. What inspired the very first question? What inspired you to get into the film direction, and what told you that this indeed was your calling? And a follow up, like how did you keep yourself motivated through the uncertainties that you might have surely have faced in your life?
So, I grew up in Nagpur. I was born in Nagpur city. Uh, I went to till 12th, I did science. Post that, I actually, in the times we were growing up, uh, people either wanted to become an engineer or a doctor, nothing beyond that. And if you couldn't get admission into any of these colleges, you started doing either BCom or BA. We didn't have so many career options as you all have now. So I did science till 12th. I couldn't get through into any engineering college. So I started doing commerce, BCom. And the college used to be just 4 hours in the morning. 7 to 11 was the college timing. So the whole day was free for me. And I happened to bump into a theater group in college. which excited me, and I started doing plays with them. That from there, from just being a college group, it became a kind of a city group where we started a drama company called Awaz, and we started going out and performing. And uh, theater was not strong. We were like, I wouldn't call ourselves professional, but we were not even amateurs. We were somewhere in between, where we would really do 3, 4 plays a year, go literally on the streets, try and sell tickets so that people would come. But the joy I got of that was immense. And I would say I was lucky that my father, who saw this, and instead of pushing me into, I came from a small middle class Hindi family. My father used to run a typewriting institute, teach typing, and would sell office equipment. So for him to tell me that, this is what you do well, so you don't have to come and work with me. Any typical Sindhi family, the son would grow up and join his father and do that. But he said, no, this I see you enjoy this, so pursue this. So, in fact, he told me there's a film institute in Pune, and because there was no way to learn cinema those days. Uh, Now you can still learn in different ways, but you had to go to a film school. There were not cameras available openly. There was no setups, anything. So then I applied to a film school and got into film school. So that's how then from film school, of course, I came to Mumbai and then the journey started. So I don't think there were any, when you want to do something and you are charged up about doing thing, you really never worry about the struggles you're going to face. They start much later when real life hits you. But at that period, my biggest ambition at that point was to how do I get into this film school? How do I get admission into this school? Because admission seats were limited. They used to take just 10 students in each course. So there were total 40 students and thousands would apply. So 1 year I couldn't get in. It took me a while to understand how those exams are conducted. The next year I managed to get in. And I didn't get into direction. I Because most people would apply in direction. So I got into editing. But my ambition was that let me get into whatever I get into. Once I get into a film school, at least I'll understand something. And once I got in, now I look back and think that getting into editing helped me, in fact, in my life later, that it was kind of a blessing in disguise where editing does help me in everything I do today. Yeah.
It was I think I had like read up on you already, so it was like good to hear it from you and understand your journey.
So you
Um,
reconfirmed it. That is the truth.
so
Okay.
when we think about, like, you have directed many films, and I think when we think about films or movies, it seems like a very far away concept for us. If we just think about some people made this. So I think one question that I have is that what exactly goes on behind these scenes? What how do you exactly plan a film direction?
Wow.
So what you're asking is the role of a director. What does a director do? Uh, See, to explain in a simple way, the role of a director is like uh, how think of him as an architect. What does an architect do? If he's to build this 50-story building, residential, commercial, whatever, he is a man who has a vision of the entire thing. That okay, this is my piece of land. I'm going to make a building here. Uh, I'll keep it this way, facing it this way, so I get the wind from coming in from here. This should be the size of room. This should be the height of the ceiling. This is the interiors. This way my plumbing should happen. This way my electrical will happen. This way I should get maximum light. So there are many elements, but he doesn't do it himself. He has a team of plumbing, somebody else will do, electrical, somebody else will do. But it's one man's vision which finally builds that building. So similarly, the role of a director in cinema is like that you have a vision, you've read a story, you've written a story, or you've got a story. Now that story from paper has to be translated onto screen. Now, how do you do it? Cinema is very collaborative in nature. You don't do it alone. It's one of those art forms where, you can do music alone, you can do painting alone, but cinema, you need a bunch of people. And like an architect, you get that bunch of people, you try and orient them to your vision, you feed off their vision, whatever they're saying. Like So in a cinema, you'll have a cinematographer, you'll have an editor, you'll have a person who will design the sets, you'll have somebody who will make the costumes, you will have actors who will act, somebody will create the music. So director's job is to get this whole team together, portray your vision, and be there constantly to say that it's not deviating from your vision, or rather growing from feeding off these people. And so from paper, what you have on paper, to take that onto screen, everything from that written word to the sound you hear in the speakers, which speaker you hear what, uh, how 5.1 is, everything. So your role is, in a way, making sure vision is translated from paper to screen as a director.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
I
absolutely.
remember when you were shooting Sanju, I was on the sets
You'd come
a
now.
couple of times and I said, oh my God, this is really, it's really fantastic.
No,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot, but you have to love your, see, when you love your job, then you won't, if you don't love it, then you won't be able to sustain it, because we literally work, when we're shooting, we're working 15, 16 hours a day, or long stretches. And uh, uh, if you love it, you won't really feel the pain, because you literally, if you're shooting outdoors, you're shooting under the sun, in the rain, uh, and you don't feel anything, because you're just the joy, sheer joy of waiting that what is getting created. It's like every stroke, every day you're making a stroke and waiting for the final thing. So the joy pulls you through. And if you don't like it, if you're doing it for any different reason, that you think this is a profession, I'll make some money out of it, then you won't be able to sustain it only. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like a lot of work. But then, products like PK and Three Idiots come up, it feels like, oh, that actually made up. I remember watching, PK, Three Idiots, and I feel like मैं उसको कितनी बार भी देखूं, it is always less. So it just made me to question, in the current cinema landscape, it is very much subject to economics, very much subject to OTT, trend, profit. And when such masterpieces like PK or Three Idiots come, it makes you question कि अब ऐसी movies क्यों नहीं आ रही है? So what do you see out of this? Why is it only like कि पहले थी और अब I cannot see a lot of films like PK or Three Idiots. Why do you think is it happening that way, or what
Yes,
is
I
the
mean,
reason?
all kinds of movie come every year actually. आप
Hmm.
हर किस्म की, आप अभी पिछले कुछ सालों में भी देख लेंगे. There's been a 12th fail, there's been लापता ladies, there's been
Yeah, yeah.
so there will be always all kinds of cinema being made. You will have typical action films, you will have comedies, you will have meaningful films which are trying to communicate something, because there are so many filmmakers. And how do you make films? You make films from your own choices, from what you want to say. So there always will be filmmakers who will want to say something through their films. There will be films which should purely want to entertain you. So, and I think that's the way it should be. That all kinds of cinema should be made. That otherwise, it'll be, if just one kind of cinema is made, then it'll get very boring. Yeah.
So we have a lot of girls present with us today here. I mean, KARM is all about empowering girls.
Yeah.
And I think film industry is not really a area where women usually imagine themselves winning. So what message do you have for the girls present here?
That's not true that film industry is a place like that. Uh, Even if I recount the directors, we have such great women directors today with us. Not only today, even if you go back to time, one of my favorite directors, Sai Paranjpe, films like that, type such as Badur, uh, uh,
राजू साथ साथ
sorry,
साथ साथ भी उसकी थी ना
Sat Sat was
फारूकी
Raman Kumar, Chashme Badur was her, then
एक
Sparsh
और थी
was
नसीरुद्दीन शाह वाली जिसमें ही वाज
Sparsh,
ब्लाइंड
uh,
स्पर्श हाँ
Sparsh was her. Aparna said, look at the great films she's made. Present day, we have Zoya Akhtar, we have Farah Khan, we have Rima Kangri, we have Leena Yadav, who used to work with me some long time. You have the South, you have Sudha. Uh, uh, there's so many girls who are actually directors. And in fact, we don't, I think the ours is a space where we really don't distinguish whether there's no genders, this thing, or there's even no religious wise. We actually are a very, very open space where if you have the talent, that will be appreciated. Uh, so we have camera women, we have most of the editors, so many writers are women, actresses, of course. So I don't think it's a place which is difficult for you. You spot your talent. So many makeup women are makeup person are women, and in every front actually we have. You walk onto a set, you'll see an equal ratio, if not equal, but at least a huge amount of women working on sets. So if you just have to figure out what you want to pursue, and if you pursue that, and if you're good with that work, we respect only work. There's no, we keep saying that ours is a profession, we should not ask you for a degree. They'll normally ask you, okay, show me your degree, because we'll just ask you, okay, show me your work, show me your film, show me, if you're a production designer, show me what you've designed, show us pictures. You're a hairdresser, show me what you can do. Nobody's really going to ask you for your educational qualification. And if you're good at it, hop over. It's like that. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Well, the next question is a kind of a follow-up to this only. We have a lot of people watching here who are from Delhi University, from colleges. And the question that comes to my mind is like what girls and boys of today generation should do being in college that can help them, land into film industry in the coming future. What best they can do in their college life to propagate such kind of life aage
Yeah.
jaake.
So I keep meeting a lot of people who come to me for asking what to do. And I think from the time we were growing up to the time today, I think it's far more easier to make films. Like our time, there was no camera. If I wanted to make a film, there was no way I could go out and there were no editing equipments. There was nothing where I could do sound. So we had to literally go ask somebody, and we didn't even understand. Now you have a camera on your phone. You have editing software in your phone, on your computer devices, on your laptops. You have sound which can be done totally. You can get reference music, you can create music, and you have so many YouTube videos available which will really guide you. So nowadays, when somebody comes to assess me, I said, have you made a film? I said, even if it's a 1 minute film, I'm okay. Even if you made a 1 minute film. And if they say no, I said, then don't come to me, because then you're not passionate enough. Because now there's no excuse that you can't make a film. All of y'all can just pick up a phone, get two friends, write a 1 minute story, go out in your garden, go out in one room of a place, make a film, figure out where to keep the camera, how to take the shots, go and edit. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. But it's possible to, with zero cost, you can make a film sitting at home. So I would suggest that the best thing is to start doing that. If you want to become a director, start making these short films. Just get a bunch of friends, write a story, and so much of knowledge is available on YouTube, which will tell you how to do these things. So at the basic level, learn it, do it. In 2 or 3 films, you will obviously get better, and also you will realize whether this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. And the interesting thing is, now even to reach people is not difficult. Earlier, even if you made a film, how do you showcase it to somebody? Now you really don't have to worry. Really put it on Instagram, put it on YouTube, put it anywhere, and it will. I see so many things. Sometimes I see some interesting thing on a reel. I said, let's find out who this guy is, who's made this film. And we've reached out to people. So now your work reaches the world. And if it's interesting, it will find its path to some person. So whatever you want to do, you want to be a cinematographer, go and great, shoot some images, make a small show reel, put it out, uh, mail it to people. You want to be a makeup person, do that. So it's actually very easy today. And if you think this finally gives you joy, you really like doing it, then educate yourself. Then do a short course first. If you really feel now this is, you've dipped your feet into it, and if you really want to pursue this now, then do a long-term course or work with somebody. Then spend a few years mastering the craft. Then you'll find your path. Yeah.
Thank you for that, sir. Our next question is that it has more to do with how cinema shapes our opinion. Do you believe that cinema carries a responsibility to shape public opinion, or should it purely remain a medium of storytelling? What are your thoughts on that?
See, as I earlier said, everybody makes different kind of films. Somebody will be socially conscious, somebody will not be socially conscious. And I don't think we should put this pressure, put this load on cinema that you have to make films which will change public opinion, all will change. It's a medium of storytelling. It's a medium of entertaining people. You never go to a restaurant and put that pressure on that. Okay, you make such food that it changes public opinion, or it, you know, food's job is it's compare it with the restaurant. Yeah, that their job is to give you great food, healthy food. So similarly, cinema is to purely entertain you without selling your soul. Obviously, you don't do certain things which you wouldn't like to see. So don't do it as a business of and I also feel that if you do it like that, it doesn't succeed also. You have to do it from your soul. If you do it from your soul of wanting to say something, but that load should not be there on cinema that no, you have to do this, then it'll get very boring. The thing is that look at the wide variety of cinema we are making today actually in India. If you look at the OTT shows to cinema, what's happening in Hindi, in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, all different kinds of stories are being told, and which is the joy of cinema. So some of them will make statements through that. They'll make political statements through that. They will make social comments through that. They will want to change certain things through that. And that will come from the belief of the maker. What the maker believes, his personality will come into the story he's trying to say. So let it be easy and free flowing.
Yeah, right. So we have lots of questions coming in the chat, and I would like just help you with one question. Is there still freedom of thought in the film industry? Do the filmmakers have full creative liberty in what they want to make?
See, I feel when you strongly believe in something, then you will let that come into your film. I'll tell you, when I was making Lage Munna Bhai, there would be friends who would come on the sets and say that suddenly they'll see Mahatma Gandhi and Munna and Sarkar sitting and drinking in front of Gandhi, the way they're talking to Gandhi drunk. And they would say, what the hell are you doing? Finally, it's Mahatma Gandhi is the father of the nation. And how can you make this will run into problems? You'll have problems with this. And I would never understand that. I said, why? But the larger picture is that I'm trying to portray his ways of functioning. I'm trying to portray non-violence. I'm trying to portray truth. So it won't bother me. So when you strongly believe in something, I think you will battle many things. If you are yourself little shaky grounds that reasons for doing it are different, then you would not, then you will be scared to do certain things. Even PK, we did so many things. We had a lot of backlash on it, but I stand by it. I think what I did was trying to show fake godmen in India, the way they function. And till date sometimes get a little bit of backlash, but it's okay. You believe in it. So otherwise you'll end up making fake stories. Yeah.
Right, sir. Absolutely. One more question is quite like a fun break kind of thing. They say कि माँ के लिए तो अपने सारे बच्चे बराबर होते हैं. You have all of the movies that you have made. We just have a question for you. Which one movie do you find your epic favorite? कि ये movie तो is like mine thing.
You know what happens? When you make a film, while you're editing it, you literally see it thousands of times. When I say thousands, it might be even more. Because every shot you're watching. So you lose total objectivity by the time your film is ready. And when you first time see it, you never see your own films. Because you're watching this cut, that sound, this expression, this music. So the joy of watching your own films is you never see your own films. That everybody, and then you watch others people, your film you've lost for yourself. It's only after 8-10 years when you're away from the film, you've forgotten that, and you watch it again, then you objectively realize the good things about that, the bad things about, because you stop laughing at those jokes, you stop crying at the emotional lines because you've seen it so many times. So I just happened to see a lot of my old films a month back, 2 months back, because we were upgrading them for 8K resolution and all that. Now technology is changing, so we're upgrading. So color correction was done. So I had to go and check it in the lab. So I ended up watching most of my old films. And what actually gave me most joy was surprisingly PK, which when I had made it, I thought it was flawed and I couldn't reach out, couldn't achieve what I had set out to achieve. And suddenly when I saw it now, it felt that what we're trying to say is such a big thing. And the way we made it, the ambition was far bigger than other films. So it's only after many years, but every film is close to you. It's you cannot make a film if it's not close to you. So it's like, uh, but since you asked this is what happened to me recently. Yeah.
All right. We have another question for you. Might be related to what you just said. Have you ever held back from telling a story because of how it might be perceived or interpreted by the audiences?
No, as I just said, na, if you strongly believe in it, then nothing can hold you back. I think you once that starts churning inside your head, when an idea comes, it's a day when you get up with that excitement. I can't tell you actually, oh, yeah, this is something I want to say. Then, of course, there's a journey of writing it. Then there are days where the dark days where you really don't get a single idea. Then you're thinking, hey, it's not reaching anywhere. Then one idea comes, it excites you again. And so I have never in my career uh, uh, dropped anything which I out of any other reason, out of any fear that, okay, this is how people will perceive. No, in fact, I've said this is what I want to say and I should say it. Because you really can't judge. How can you judge in a population of so many people who will like what? You should not actually try to judge what somebody will like, because you see anything from food to cinema choices are so varied in this country that how do you judge what people like? You can only judge what you like and try and make that. Because then at least it will go. If you start saying, oh, this is what Priyanka will like, this is what Komal will like, this is what Vinta will like, somebody sitting in Bihar will like this, some NRI sitting in US will like this, then I'll make a khichdi, and end of the day, I might not like the whole film because I didn't do it for myself. I was doing it for them. At least if I make a bad film, at least one person will like it. That's me. So you
Yeah.
have to make it for yourself.
Absolutely right, sir.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of girls watching you here, and we know कि so many restrictions is something like कि अब तो ऐसा normal हो गया to be faced by girls in their home, in society, in general. And there is this question in the chat that, sir, your films often challenge what society expects versus what feels right. How should someone deal with this conflict in real life without disappointing their own family?
Hmm.
Yeah.
See, I think dialogue is the only way, because with generations, thoughts keep changing. With generations, thought will keep changing. You will have a different viewpoint. They will have a different viewpoint, and parents will always have a protective viewpoint. They've grown up with a particular view, which they believe is the truth. You are living in a different world. You believe this is the truth. But if you're going to fight over it, it's not going to happen. It's a dialogue. You need to, and it's not easy. I know it. We all face it all the time. It's not easy. You have to have a dialogue, make them see a point, make them understand. You have to have a lot of patience to battle those things. Uh, I guess some you win, some you lose, but I think that's the way the world functions. Who said it's an easy world and a fair world? So, uh, but tell me specifically, are you talking about any specific way
Uh,
of?
Yeah, I'll just make it a little bit easier for you, maybe if I can. I mean,
Uh,
there are times now when two people are like having conversation and you feel like whatever the person is saying is wrong. But with one set of conversation, you cannot change the whole mindset of the person. I cannot change about the way you think, right? And when parents have a particular set of viewpoint thinking about the situation that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, that might be wrong, that might be right. How can I just change their whole set of viewpoint, whole set of mind that they have made on all 2 years? How can a like a 19, 20-year-old me just change them, but then I have to do my stuff as well. I cannot compromise on that as well, but not disrespect them as well. So it's like a really going inside that, not disappoint them, not be rude, but then do my stuff. It's like very difficult to handle at times. How shall I do it now? Like, it's difficult.
Are you talking this conversation with a friend or parents or what? Yeah, friends.
With parents specifically, friends are like understanding.
See, I keep telling myself, sometimes you have to drop this need to be right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a battle only if you, sometimes the battle is not very big. Sometimes a battle of proving that you're right. Sometimes it's not about something that, a big thing. Sometimes, no, you think like that, I think like this. So if you drop that need to be right, sometimes somebody tells me, oh, the sky is green. Yes, yeah. Even I'm feeling it's a little green, more green today. Drop the need to be right. Half your battles are over. The bigger conflict is when it's a decision you have to make. Like if you have to make a career decision where they're asking you to do this and you have, those are bigger battles which need to be very delicately explained, addressed. But most battles I feel are like, at your age, you want to say that I am right, understand this thing. And if they don't understand, drop it. It's okay. It's not necessary that somebody else. It's everybody's life. You drop the need. And I'll tell you an incident vibe. I was one of my films I was shooting and with Amir, and there was an assistant, and the things didn't go right with. He was a senior assistant, and things didn't go right, and I had a little tiff with him. I thought certain things were not being handled. There were issues, so I got really angry with him at lunchtime. And while we went out for lunch, he sent me a message. He's saying that if you think you can handle my job better than I can, then you handle it. I'm going. Now, what do I do? I need him also. I have to handle it. So I didn't say anything. I didn't reply to the message. I continued. He also didn't go. He was responsible in that sense. It was just anger. Both of us were getting angry. And the day got over. End of the day, I was sitting with Amir and I asked him, I said, you've been an actor. He had directed one film, Tare Zameen Pe, and I said, you must be facing this in life that sometimes when things don't go right, how do you handle it? How do you handle conflict like this? So he said, sometimes I try and do it with a lot of dialogue, affection, handle it. Sometimes I use my power. I said, I get, angry and this thing. And I realize sometimes if both these things are not working, then I tell my mind, I tell myself, Jhelo. Now there's a situation. Okay, accept it. Don't get bothered with it. Accept it. We have to get a job done. So you have to look at the larger role you need to. Why you're fighting for what? What is a larger role? Is this conflict going to lead you somewhere? Drop that conflict. Look for the larger cause. We get caught up in a smaller conflicts and trying to prove that need to be right is so strong in all of us. Once we drop that, then we start seeing the larger goal.
Right, sir. I really like your idea on that. I think I can relate to that as someone who also has to navigate these conversations with my parents. We have another question for you. In an era of fast content and short attention spans, do you think meaningful cinema and thought-provoking cinema is becoming harder to sustain right now?
Yeah, this is it is a big issue. It is a big issue. Actually, people are spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours on the phone. And I do as an observation, I step out somewhere, anybody who's traveling with me, I say, stop now, look around you. On the street, you come out of a house, you go anywhere near your office, everywhere, people are just on their mobile phones. They're walking, looking at that. They're in that world. And unfortunately, that world is of such short attention spans that there's no in-depth understanding. People are not reading books so it is, and also the algorithm is such that it is providing you what you believe in. It's more and more, it's providing you that. And if you're arguing with your friend, as Komal just said, next time, somebody will fight over there was no moon landing, somebody says there was moon landing. You'll fight over it. So because you're being fed that. So I think I don't know how it's a bigger issue. Someday I want to make a film about it, that this really needs to change. Because also I can see an empathy loss because of this. People losing empathy towards each other. They're just, oh, there's some accident happening and people are with the phone shooting that rather than helping. And I think we've been fortunate. We grew up in a world before this where when I look at my parents, when I look at those people, there were strong pillars of strength who would stand for each other. And somewhere we are losing that. And I think I don't know what is the solution. At some point, we will realize this is as dangerous or probably more than any drug people are consuming. It's really affecting your mind, the way we are thinking. We're getting short-tempered. You talk to psychiatrists, their businesses it's soaring here. It's soaring. People are just fighting over issues which don't exist. And everybody's troubled. Everybody's having problems with parents. Parents having problems with kids. And I think this needs to be addressed. To answer your question, yes, we are. It does affect. It does affect the kind of cinema you make also, because people also. Where are you early? See, earlier we would source or feed our minds, or feed our brains with conversations from people. We would read books. Uh, uh, there would be in-depth conversations over a subject. Now they are so shallow. What would a 30-second insight into something lead to? You're not really reading anything in depth. So it's a big cause of concern. It's a big cause of concern. I don't know where it's going to lead. Yeah, and I don't know. I think this needs to be addressed at some bigger level where they have to be. A lot of countries have stopped it now. New Zealand apparently has stopped social media for kids under 16, and these kind of things are happening. So I hope there are more rules and checks and balances on this.
Absolutely right. So are you like planning a sequel to Three Idiots? Even though the film itself was a complete story, but are you like making a sequel based on current trends or something like
I'm actually not supposed to talk about it. It's too
that?
early to talk about it, but I think Amir has gone and spoken about it a few days back. So yes, we are making a sequel. We've done one draft of the script. It's getting refined. We're working on it. We don't know yet when we'll start shooting. That depends on everybody's availability. But yes, we are doing a sequel on that.
That's like some good news. So
Also, I'm doing a sequel on. Also, I'm writing a Munna Bhai also. So,
wow.
so let's see which gets ready.
All the very best, sir, and good wishes for something that's coming. As someone who has admired your work for years, what recurring flaw or blind spot in your films do you think audience notice, but you haven't fully addressed it yet?
Sorry, I didn't get it. What?
There's a question in this chat which asks that as someone who has admired your work for years, what recurring flaw or blind spot in your films do you think audience notice, but you haven't fully addressed it yet?
What I've been frequently blamed for is that the women characters in my film are not strong. I've been told this, uh, which I kind of tried addressing uh, in my last film. Danki Tapsi had a strong role, and but I don't know whether see, every story is a different story. So it's not something that you do one thing on one film and that changes. Every story is a different story. So, and you make stories what you like. So sometimes people come and say, why don't you make an action film or something? So, but it's all depends on the kind of story you get. Uh, so I don't really think any blind spots as such. Yeah.
All right. So do you think there should be a line where commercial success is questioned if a film risks reinforcing harmful stereotypes or behaviors? or is that too subjective to define?
Uh, See, as I said, these things will happen. That it's how we make films. We make films from our own belief systems, from our memories, from our understanding of life. And when thousands of different filmmakers will make different kind of films, uh, somebody believes in a particular way, they will have stereotype things. They will have things which somebody else will not agree with. Uh, but I think people are intelligent enough to figure out what they want to watch. And there's a censor board which will give you ratings. Then you choose, you say, okay, this is not somebody underage should watch, or you might agree or not agree. And you really can't control, because the moment you start controlling, there's no end to it. Censorship, I think, is a very dangerous thing to, because the moment you put censorship on anything, then new ideas stop coming. Then people will fear doing new ideas for the reason that, oh, if I do this, I'll get censored. And this has happened in many countries where the censorship has been strong, and then that art form has died there in that country. So, so you might feel that, okay, some people are projecting some stereotype, but it's okay. People are very intelligent. They will reject it. And very honestly, this, people blame that, okay, cinema causes uh, uh, people to do certain things. There's more violence. There's all these things happen because of cinema, which is, I don't think it's true. I feel cinema imitates life, and life doesn't imitate cinema. And cinema is just 100 years old. We've seen much more violence in from medieval times, or even from before till now. Cinema is just 100 years old. You look at even the world wars. If you look at, there was those time we were just making mythologicals when world wars were happening. So uh, strange things happened. Yesterday I read this news that somebody went to a bank and to withdraw his dead sister's money, and they didn't give it, and they said, ask her to come. He went and dug out the skeleton of that person, of his sister, and put it. So now if I put this on cinema, you'll say how violent and how aggressive and how this will happen. So life is strange. The kind of things that happening around us is we pick up from life. So, and when you're creating anything, you're creating a painting, you're creating art, you're creating anything, these kind of things will happen, and I think it's okay. There's a board to take care of it. Whereas when it's in extremes, they will take care of that. So the moment we start blaming, this is not should not happen, then there's no stopping, because what you believe this should stop, somebody else will be this should stop. Then there'll be too many restrictions on anything. Yeah.
Well said, sir. Absolutely. It's like killing the creativity, which when it was all there and then you just censored
Absolutely.
it, you abandoned it. When we say that it's all like AI ka zamana, we have AI taking over certain stuff. So the next question comes with this respect only. With AI now able to create videos and images so easily, do you think it could ever reach a point where it can direct film on its own, or will storytelling always need a human perspective?
See, this is a new technology which you can't ignore. Where it'll go, I don't know. But as I keep saying, it's best to make it a friend. It will cause a lot of disruption. It will cause a lot of change the way we make films, or in any field. Why only films? In every field, a lot of people might lose their jobs. But the reality is, it can't be stopped. My father used to sell typewriters, as I keep telling them, and in Nagpur, and he used to always tell me that, uh, I'll always remain in business, because every organization, be it every college, every government body, every lawyer, individual, will need typewriters. You have to type, and I'll always remain in business. And came computers, and from literally selling 30 typewriters a month, it came down to one typewriter a month, and he used to struggle to sell that one typewriter in 1 year, and he got wiped out. His business got wiped out in 1 year. So now this AI is, it's like internet. When internet came, it changed so many things for us. So many good things happened. How knowledge became accessible. Uh, I remember I came from the film institute, and somebody asked me to make a film on migratory birds. He said, "Do you know anything about migratory birds?" And I wanted to make that film. I was jobless. It was a documentary. And I said, yeah, everything I know about migratory bird. So I said, okay, can you send me a script? I said, give me 1 week, I'll give you a good script. I knew nothing. And now where do I get that knowledge from? There was no internet, nothing. So I had to go to, there was this one library which where there all these Salim Ali books, BNHS or something in town.
Yes.
Every day for 1 week, I went there, sat there, took out books. You couldn't take those books. You had to Xerox it. Xerox also was not available. So sometimes you would make. So 1 week, I had to spend time to access that knowledge. Came internet and the knowledge is now. So it's a great thing also. So certain great things will happen. Certain bad things will happen. But AI we can't ignore. So to the extent that I have gone and now actually made a short 10-minute film. If from here, I'm going to go and watch it now to learn actually AI. In fact, I said I have to make a 10-minute film because it will help me in making films. I've just finished making it. So you can't ignore it. You really can't ignore it. Better to make it a friend and learn from it. And yeah, if someday, I don't know whether at the moment you can't, at the moment you will need people, a lot of people behind it to this thing. But it can do a lot of things which earlier we couldn't do. So not that I feel that you won't need directors, you won't need music directors. You will still need a lot of these people. It's just that the way they work will become different. The options they have will be more. Yeah.
So you must receive many response, like several types of responses to your directed movies. Have you ever received, a specific response from an audience member that made you realize how deep the impact your work makes?
Yeah, I do keep till date. I actually, for 2 films, I actually got a lot of responses. One is Three Idiots, for which I till date meet a lot of people who said, uh, uh, people say I've changed my job, I quit whatever I was pursuing, and I've got into this. So a lot of people have actually, I know, quit medicine, engineering, and got into films, music, which they wanted to pursue. When they say it, I sometimes get scared that I hope they're doing well. I've met parents who tell me a lot of times that, thank you for making us realize that there are professions beyond, and we've been putting unnecessary pressure on students. Similarly, for PK, I do meet a lot of people who tell me that you made us really think the way we perceived God. And in fact, I met some people who said, after seeing the film, I realized our whole life has gone wrong in the way we've pursued religion, God, fought over it. And it's pretty heartwarming. But one of the funniest response I got on 3 years, I have to tell you this, was I had gone to a theater to watch a film, and it's close to my house. So I usually sometimes go for a night show, and then I walk home quietly. So I finished the film, I was walking quietly, and somebody, it was literally one day in the night, one kid saw me and he came, kid, as in I think he was 20-year-old guy. He came running behind me and he said, "Sir, Sam, I've seen your films and I have one question to ask you." He started walking with me. And he said, in Three Idiots, you've said that you should pursue what gives you joy. And if you pursue what gives you joy, you'll excel in it. So, is this true? I said, why? What gives you joy? What gives you most joy? So he very seriously looked at me. He says, "Sir, I enjoy sleeping the most. I just love to sleep." And trust me, I didn't have an answer for that. All I could tell him was, I think, please get a medical checkup done and see why you're sleeping so much. So strange things happen sometimes.
Absolutely, sir. So your film celebrates the magic of Jadoo Ki Chappi. What, according to you, is the real world hurdle to genuine human empathy in 2026 that is there? And a question mark. Shall I
What is
repeat the
it?
question?
What is
Yeah.
the genuine?
So your films celebrate the magic of Jadoo Ki Chappi. What, according to you, is the real world hurdle to genuine human empathy in 2026 that is there?
What is the general hurdle to empathy?
Human empathy.
I think we've lost contact with each other. We are in contact with our devices. The moment we are in contact with each other, spend a weekend with your friends, spend a weekend, and actually spend a weekend. I keep saying, genuinely go and give a hug to your friend.
I'm coming.
Go and give a hug to your friend. Go and give a hug to your mom, dad. Trust me. Trust me, everything changes. And same thing for me. I keep telling my son, I said, just come and hug me one day. Yaar. It changes the way I will talk to you. The will changes. Otherwise, you're living in you're so detached from each other. You're not, because you're creating your own stories. When you're not in contact, you're creating stories in your head. Oh, this must be, this person is thinking, this person is thinking. Come and contact, we've lost touch with each other completely. Just get in contact. And genuinely, that one touch, believe me, it changes everything. It just does change everything. People will soften, people will become lighthearted, people will joke with you. And because they feel affection, they feel wanted, they feel, oh, this person cares for me. So I strongly believe that. My dad used to do that all the time. He was a warm man. He would just come and hug, and it would dissolve every problem. But we've lost now. We hesitate to touch people. We hesitate to uh, uh, make, you know, even our parents will never, with our siblings, we won't do it. There's a distance. All we are in our devices. And on that, we are sending hearts and emojis and hugs, sending 10 hugs. That doesn't mean anything. Get up and go there and give them a hug, and you see that you will start feeling better. Yeah.
So okay, I think this is the last question probably.
Yes.
What advice do you have for people who want to work in the film industry in similar capacities? What resources or preparedness they should have?
So this is the same earlier I said, you decide what gives you. First of all, figure out there are many, many professions in the film industry. Most people still think acting is the only profession in film industry. All they see is actors. That's not true, because apart from acting, apart from directing, there are tons of professions, and they're good professions. They're high paying professions. Even if you become a makeup man, they're high paying professions. And makeup in cinema is very different from makeup in real life. Mostly makeup in real life is about beautification. In cinema is about being a character. That, okay, this character is from this particular background, how he should look, what should be his hairstyle, the way he should be. If he's fought with somebody, how that makeup should be. So hairdressing is a profession. People who've done architecture, or they can get into production design. People from art schools can do designing. Costume designing is a profession. Again, costumes in cinema are not made for beautification, they're made for characters, depending whatever character you're playing. Like in PK, when we were making Amir's clothes, uh, then Amir had this idea. He said, why are you making these clothes for me? I'm an alien who's come to this planet, and I'm in the film, we've shown that I'm stealing clothes from people. And if I steal clothes from people, he used to pick up those clothes from cars. If I'm stealing clothes, then they will never be well fitting. Either they should be tight or they should be loose. So all Amir's clothes we didn't make. These two girls who were doing a costume design went to Rajasthan, went onto the streets, and any person they would see would look like an interesting shirt. They would go to that person. He said, "We need your shirt. In return, we'll give you 4 new shirts." Some of them agreed, some of them didn't. But most of those clothes which Amir wore were picked up from people. So we do uh, our costume designing is possibly like that. So it's a very, so there are many, many professions. There are professions in visual effects, there are professions in editing, writing. So I think you should figure out what you like doing that. And knowledge for that is available. Go and see some videos, read some books. Tons of books are available. See what you enjoy doing, whether you enjoy writing and directing, whatever. And the moment you figure out this is what I like, I think do it for a while and see. And also nowadays there are many short-term courses, 1 week, 15 days courses across India, they're available. Do those little courses. As I keep saying, dip your feet and see if this gives you joy. Then take the next step of either going to a school, film school, uh, uh, or working with somebody. Even in Delhi, there are many filmmakers, a lot of films are made. So I guess, yeah, first see what gives you joy. And it's coming back to Three Idiots. Pursue what gives you joy, and chances are you'll succeed. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So this was like our last question. We come to the end of the list. I'm really glad. In fact, as the KARM community, all the community is really thankful to your presence here today. I personally truly believe in what you said about dropping the need to be right and half of your conflicts will disappear. I think it's a mindset that all of us need to make our lives a bit easier in day to day.
So go and hug
In
your
fact,
parents today, huh? Priyanka and Komal. Do
yeah.
that. That's your homework.
Okay, sir. Um, Today, your experience and ideas around filmmaking, the cinematic landscape, and insights in the film industry has definitely empowered the girls present here and sparked a conversation or idea they will forever cherish. I'm proud of that. We're truly glad to have witnessed your wisdom and participate in this conversation along with many girls who found some answers today. I believe all of us will walk away from the session with a truly meaningful takeaway that allows us to empower those around us and, most importantly, ourselves. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We are again truly grateful
Thank you.
for
Thank you
that.
so much. You all were really wonderful. Komal, Priyanka, you all were really, uh, Komal was really opening up finally, and this is what is happening. Then we had to stop. But thank you so much for having me. I also really enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you, Vinita. Thank you,
No, no,
Sunil.
thank you. Thank you so much, Raju. And whenever you're shooting next, whichever movie, if possible, we can send some of our current girls to
Please, please,
come to your
please, send.
set
Please let me
and
know.
actually experience the joy of creativity firsthand,
Absolutely,
because it is
absolutely.
so magical to, I have been and I know how exhilarating it is.
No, no,
And
absolutely. And if you do, whenever we start 3 years, I think a chunk of it will also be shot in Delhi. So you're most welcome to
no,
have a peek.
that would be wonderful. Raju, really appreciate this.
Thank
Your
you.
1 hour, we know what it
No, no,
means,
not at all. It's a joy.
and we are so grateful. And as you said, go meet your
Thank you.
friends. So I'm coming on Friday to Bombay.
Okay. Thank you, Komal. You were really good. Thank you, Priyanka. Good fun.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
very
you so much,
much.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Please scan the QR codes for Karm and Karmavas. They're on your screens.
Girls, you were fantastic. You were super.